Hi, welcome to Broken Bushcraft. I'm Adam, and today we're going to talk about a wilderness first aid kit. Before we do that, don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, and share, and let's kick this off. Okay, so wilderness first aid kit, what is that? Well, it's a first aid kit you take with you to the wilderness. There, kind of narrows that down, right? I've stayed away from the first aid kits because there's no perfect first aid kit. Everybody has their preferences, and you can't plan for every single medical emergency. So I try to plan for the medical emergencies that I'm going to see or that can happen to me generally out there. If you did plan for every emergency, your pack would probably weigh about 200 pounds and it'd be full of medical supplies and an EMT with you. So you got to just kind of limit your scope and kind of understand where you're gonna kind of operate in. Now the first aid kit you guys have seen a few times is this little tiny one I have. This just clips to my pack. I can put it in my pocket. This is for my boo-boo kit. This is the one I can grab if there's a minor cut, scrape, or burn, something like that. I can just grab this and treat the injury and not go into my actual primary first aid kit. So this is just a first aid kit I keep with me for surface stuff. And it's light, it weighs nothing, it costs about $3. I have these all over the house and all in every car, and I also have these in every car and every pack. So now your first aid kit is for you. You pack what you want to use. So if I get hurt, somebody can go into my bag and grab my kit, which it's labeled first aid. It's also blue. You can see I kind of keep a color scheme here. It's blue. I can tell somebody to get the blue bag out of my bag and they can get it. So I'm not relying on somebody else's first aid kit. I know what I have in mind to keep me alive. So this is in the bag here. Now my tourniquet, it's never in my bag because I always want to have my tourniquet easily accessible to me. I typically keep this in my pocket when I'm out in the woods because I don't want to be away from my pack or away from my gear and something happened to me, I have to get my tourniquet. So I always keep this in my pocket. So a tourniquet is a must-have for any first aid excursions you're going to go to. And actually that kind of reminds me of something. I'm not going to show you how to use this stuff. I'm just going to discuss it. It's on you to go get into a first aid class, get certified, understand what you can and can't do, understand when to apply a tourniquet and when not to apply a tourniquet. So going to a first aid kit, first aid class, that's on you. But building the kit, some of the stuff is really common sense. This is just something that's very important. I use a lot of knives, use a lot of saws and axes. This is just something that I'm going to need. So the kit, make sure your bag or whatever you keep it in is waterproof. This is my waterproof bag. I have it labeled first aid and it's blue. So the first thing, I can reach in there, I got gauze. I got these little compression gauze. I can wrap a splint around a splint. I can wrap them around injury. I can hold a bandage in place. So these are good to have. Gloves are right there on top. I don't know what you have, you don't know what I have, so gloves are there to keep us both safe. I have an emergency blanket. This is good for shock. These are real light, and I kind of got these all over the place. I have a few of them in my pack. I use them for shelters, I use them for, but it goes in here as well. So that's it in the bag. Then I have this other plastic bag. This is some of you in the military have seen this before. This is an IFAK, kind of, but IFAK Plus. So the first thing on top, I got Advil and I got ibuprofen. Because you have those, you're out there hiking, you have a twist or a sprain, or you have a muscle issue. Advil, if you start feeling like feverish or whatever, you have Tylenol. So having Advil and Tylenol, or ibuprofen and Tylenol are two things that are really good for you. I have activated charcoal. Now activated charcoal can be used in a couple ways. One is if I ingest something that I shouldn't have that's making me sick, possibly a poisonous plant that I misidentified, then I can possibly get this in my system to absorb that. Some of the active charcoal, they do have diuretics in them, so then you'll start having diarrhea. You're getting it out of your system, your body's flushing it. You gotta remember, if you do have an active charcoal with a diuretic that's making you either vomit or have diarrhea, hope you got your brown pants on, you're gonna wanna make sure you're hydrating. So, but activated charcoal, and this is not the original container. So I wrote what it is and how much I need to take of it, and and when it expires. So this is just, it's something good to have, especially if you're gonna be eating off the wildlife. Benadryl, this is good for any kind of allergies. This will kind of get you through. I'm not really allergic to anything, so I don't have an EpiPen. But if you are allergic to something, you probably want to take your EpiPen with you. That'd be a shock. I got Betadine. That's for cleaning wounds. I can clean those out. Now, this is a preference for me, not a preference for everybody, but I like New Skin. It's just a liquid you can put over the cuts and stuff. They're really good for cuts on joints, so it'll keep them closed where Band-Aids will fall off. So I got New Skin in there. I got Vaseline, a small thing of Vaseline. This is good. Vaseline is great for a lot of reasons. You saw how I make a fire starter with it, but chapped lips is good for. It's good for burns. It's good for sunburns. It's good for if you have a cut, you can put it on there. So Vaseline is a great little thing. I just have this little tiny container because if I'm going to use it, I'm not going to continually use this, especially with my fingers in it. I got a burn dressing. Make sure you know how to use these. Now, this next one is a preference to me, and a lot of military have them, first responders have them. It's Quick Clot. This is something you're not going to use unless you've been trained on how to do it, but I mean, you can buy it anywhere. You can buy it at Walmart. I think I have some Walmart Quick Clot somewhere. But you pour this on a wound, and then it'll activate with it, so it'll stop the bleeding. This right here is something that you can get readily available. Duct tape rolled up. So this kind of acts as a catch-all for everything. Duct tape works for everything. So if I need to make a Band-Aid, and I don't have a Band-Aid in here, I can pull a piece of duct tape off, I could cut a piece of fabric off, and then make a Band-Aid. I can also wrap this loosely around something if I need to secure it. So duct tape is something that should go in your first aid kit. Just roll it up, take it off the roll, and just roll it up. A triangular bandage. This is good for slings, because falls are common out there, sprains are common out there. This is also good if I need to wrap it around, something to make a splint, but also I can wrap this around, put a stick through it, and tighten it down if I need to have another tourniquet, or if I can't access my tourniquet. So you can use this as a tourniquet as well. Some 4-inch bandages, several 4-inch bandages, and I like the 4-inch size ones, non-stick bandages, because I can cut them down to size, and you can use them not multiple times, but if I cut it in half, then I can use the other half later on. Just know if you open it up, it's not sterile anymore. So I got a couple of those in here. Now, Moleskin, I know this is kind of like extreme stuff, but if you don't take care of your feet, you are in a world of pain. So Moleskin is in here. It's thin. It doesn't take up any space. If you have not hiked a long distance and had your feet messed up, then I'll tell you, you should try it, and then this will save you. Another triangle bandage. Then some EMT shears. These shears right here. These are great because you can cut on the person without cutting the person, so you can cut fabric away. You can cut your gauze in half. You can cut tape, whatever. And then last but not least, my tweezers. If you need to pull out a sliver from an eye, these are really fine tweezers, so you need to pull something out of the eye, pull a sliver out, glass, whatever. Tweezers are kind of a must to have. And if you have a Swiss Army knife, then you have tweezers on there. These are just a little bit finer, so I like these ones. It all fits in this quart-sized bag. So that's the first aid kit I have. Now there's some extras I kind of carry on me. So like I always have hand sanitizer in my pocket. That's just something really, it's good to clean out a wound or clean out your hands or whatever. So, you can think about if you want to put it in there or not put it in there, but it's just something I kind of always carry with me, especially with COVID. A bandana. This is always in my pocket. It's not just for blowing your nose. It could be also used for making bandage, but make sure that you're not making bandages for somebody if you're blowing your nose on it. It's kind of gross. And I used to keep cold packs. I used to keep these in here. However, they would break often, so I stopped keeping them in here. So I don't keep the cold compression packs anymore. Now Now the thing is with this pack right here, I can keep myself okay until help gets to me. And that's the thing is you're not going to be, you're not totally fixing yourself. You're not a hospital. You're simply just keeping yourself alive long enough for help to get to you. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you stay safe, and I'll see you in the woods.